All right, Shalom. First and foremost, all praises, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well and taught us his truth. Shalom and salutations to the brothers pushing his word in truth and his sincerity. Shalom. And in today's lesson, man, I'm going to be going over these next 3 videos, man. All right, going into how I'm going to just go ahead and play the videos, and I'm going to bring out some scriptures, man. All right, concerning the nation of Israel.
I am lost.
All right, so as the 3 videos I just played, man, are showing you how these very dumb animals, right? Because you look at the ox, you look at the ass, which is a donkey, right? These are very these aren't intelligent animals, man. All right, they would be what you consider dumb animals, but here it is. These dumb animals know who fed them, who their master is, where they could find their master, where the master's crib is at. But you look at the nation of Israel, and they don't know, man. So this is Isaiah 1:3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib, but Israel does not know. My people does not consider. So showing you that the nation of Israel, right? hey man, they don't even seek Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, man. They're just out here like dumb lost sheep, man. All right, taken over by all these false doctrines, serving and worshiping false gods, anything and everything but Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, man. All right, and that's messed up, man, because hey, man, we are a very special people, man. All right, the Lord has actually separated us from all these other nations, man. All right, this is a Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art a holy people, and the word holy goes into being separate. For thou art a holy people unto Yahweh thy power. Yahweh thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So out of all the people, all these nations out here, man, you got the so-called Chinese, Japanese, you got the Africans. All right, because those Africans that are over in Africa, of course, you got Jake scattered everywhere in the world, right? But hey, man, those Africans over there, those are not the same people as the so-called Southern Kingdom, the so-called Negroes. Nah, man. Hey. So out of all these nations out here, man, the so-called Chinese, so-called Japanese, so-called Arabs, so-called Ishes out here. All right, the Edomites. Okay. The so-called Indians, the Elamites. Out of all the people on the earth, the Lord has separated us, the Israelites, you so-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, so-called Native Americans. We are separate from all these people, and not separate in a bad way. Nah, man, we're separate in the most best way that you could think of, man. And we are a people that's chosen to be near unto Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, man. All right, but here it is, our people are all fucked up, man. They're all lost. All right, they don't know their left from the right. They don't know Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And they're out here just dead. Yes, they're breathing physically, they're alive physically, but spiritually and mentally, they are completely dead, man. They are the walking dead, man. Okay? Because without this truth, without worshiping Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, you are considered dead, man. You are considered the walking dead, man. Because this truth is what revives you, man. This truth is what actually nourishes you, what brings you to life. And if you don't have it, then you're dead. Right? So it says, I'm going to read out Hosea 4:6. My people, and who are the Lord's people? The Israelites, man. It says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. So see, it's a very important thing to have knowledge, man, to have wisdom, understanding. A lot of people will be like, oh, God knows me. God knows my heart. God loves me. I don't need to be, I don't need to have knowledge. I don't need to have wisdom. I don't need to fear the Lord. Nah, man. Hey, if you're an Israelite, you have to do those things in order for you to receive a chance for you to receive salvation, man. Okay? So I don't know what's with all this, God knows me. God knows my heart. I don't need to, have knowledge. Nah, man. It says right here, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. I will also forget thy children. So our people forget the laws, the ways, the righteousness, the judgments, the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, man. They don't have that. That's not something that they possess, man. And that's going to get them fucked up. That's going to get them destroyed, man. This is Proverbs 21:16. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead, man. All right, so if you wander out of the path of wisdom, knowledge, understanding, all right, hey, if you're not under the covering of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, if you're out here worshiping these false gods, all right, if you're out here, not taking heed to wise counsels, then you're ultimately dead. Again, not having knowledge, wisdom, understanding is going to have you be dead, man. This is Proverbs 1:7. The fear of Yahweh is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. So the fear of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, when you start to fear the Lord, that's when you start to receive wisdom, knowledge. You start to understand the Lord more, man, because you're actually fearing him, man. You're no longer doing what you want to do. Now you're doing the things that the Lord, doing what the Lord wants you to do, and not doing the things that the Lord doesn't want you to do, man. That's how you actually fear the Lord, man. It's by hating evil, not doing those evil things that the Lord hates. Matter of fact, let's grab a scripture that proves what the fear of the Lord is. This is the book of Proverbs 8:13. It says the fear of Yahweh is to hate evil. The fear of Yahweh is to hate evil, pride, and arrogancy, and the evil way, and the forward mouth do I hate. So it says the fear of the Lord is to hate evil, man. You know, you got to hate evil. You got to hate pride. You got to hate arrogancy. You got to hate wickedness, the evil way. All right. And you got to hate a forward mouth. All right. To show that you actually fear the Lord, man. All right. It's not just saying, oh, I fear the Lord. Oh, I'm scared of the Lord. You know, and that's it. You know, it's kind of like saying you love somebody, and then you know, you're just saying I love you, or you give them a hug or some shit. But here it is that person is starving, and you have food to give them, or you have money to give them, but you don't do it. That doesn't make sense. You don't actually love them. You're just saying it. You're just saying that shit. It's the same way with fearing the Lord. You gotta actually fear the Lord, man. It's an action. It's not just saying I fear the Lord, and then fucking just doing wickedness. Nah, man. All right. This is Matthew 15:24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. I was just showing you that, well, first and foremost, that Yahweh Shai only came for the nation of Israel. All right. No other nations could partake in this salvation and being a disciple of Yahweh Shai. Okay. And second is that the Israelites are lost sheep, man. They're out here worshiping these false gods. All right. They're out here lost in the sauce, man. They're lost spiritually, mentally, and physically, man. They're just completely lost, man. All right. So yeah, man. I just seen those those 3 videos, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna put together a lesson, because here it is that these animals that are definitely not intelligent, that these dumb animals, even they know who their owner is. Even they know where their owner's house is at, man. And you seen that dog. He's literally in a busy city, literally in the middle of this major city where you got all type of strong smells out here, all type of people walking around with different type of smells and all that. But here it is, this dog, he wasn't even that close to the owner yet, man. He was still a good distance away, man. Yeah, scroll back to this video to the beginning, man. And that dog still picked up the smell of its owner. But here it is, our people, don't, man. Our people don't. But that's why they're gonna get destroyed, because they have no knowledge. They're not attaining to wisdom. They're not seeking knowledge. Here you got the prophets, the men of the Lord out here preaching His word in wisdom and knowledge, understanding. But what does it say in? I believe it's the 2nd Chronicles. I'm gonna go ahead and end it off with that, man. They basically they shy away from the prophets. Now, not only do they reject the prophets, but they scoff them, man. This is the book of 2nd. Salakia. The book of 2nd Chronicles 36 and verse 15. It says, and Yahweh power of their fathers sent to them by his messengers. The Lord is the one that sent, that's sending out his prophets out here, man. His true prophets to bring in the true elect. He's also raised up false prophets to deceive the 2/3, man. All right. It says rising up beat times and sending, because he had compassion on his people and on his dwelling place. But they mocked the messengers of Yahweh and despised his words and misused his prophets, until the wrath of the Lord Yahweh arose against his people, till there was no remedy. All right. So that's how our people view the Lord's messengers, man. You know, they scoff them. They despise the Lord's words, which is spoken through his prophets. And they mock and scoff the true men of the Lord, man. But guess what? Like it says in the end of this verse, it says, until the wrath of the Lord arose against his people, till there was no remedy. So the Lord gonna fuck them up, man. You know, the Lord gonna destroy them, man. Okay. Hey, the Lord is gonna yeah, man, he's gonna destroy him, man. You know, and like going back to what is this, Hosea 4:6. Hey, that lack of knowledge is gonna destroy him, man. You know. So with that, Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. All praises, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Shalom wa abba.